Tickle me tender, man.
What's Up Fool Podcast? What's Up Fool Podcast? Welcome everybody to the What's Up Fool Podcast. Some of you guys are barely logging in and are on YouTube.com. For those of you who just made it out, thank you very much, man. We appreciate the love. We got Rodrigo Torres right here wearing a cool shirt.
Hello, how you guys doing? You were gonna say?
No, the cool shirt.
Oh, thank you.
I thought I saw it like in a movie, bro. Like that movie, Big Trouble in Little China.
The little headband.
When he wearing a Hawaiian T-shirt, and then on the undershirt is a shirt like
one?
that.
Little Rising Sun or whatever.
Hell yeah, I thought you were just trying to be a little cool with that shit. But still
Nah,
cool
dude,
though, man.
I scored in San Clemente.
A lot of courage, bro. Wearing beige. Bro, you should just think of, you know what I did yesterday for the first time? Also, we have Lisa Esparza right here on the Wheels of Steel.
I'm not on the Wheels of
We
Steel.
got Emma, technical engineer.
Emma's on the Wheels of Steel.
And we have Ray Lepowski from Chicago, comedian
Welcome,
extraordinaire. He's gonna fill in. We're gonna get to know him. He's gonna tell us some war stories. We're gonna talk about Cubs, Sox, Bears, Dolphins. All right, what's up, fool? What was that at, bro?
What were you gonna say that you did yesterday for the first time?
Oh, we forgot.
Oh my gosh.
You met Raleigh's fingers, though, right?
Oh shit!
That was bad.
Shout out, man. You know me, man. I get starstruck, bro. Whether it's an old legend comedian or anyone, if it's an old comedian, I don't even know him, but if he says hello to me and I say hello back, I feel like, okay, you and I can hang out now. I'm gonna follow you to the restroom.
A gauge.
Cause I met that guy from SNL.
Who?
The one that was in he was the boss in Grandma's Boy.
Some sort of hiss.
A hiss.
The boss and Grandma's Boy.
Yeah, the boss. He was the one that said Namaste.
Namaste. Oh, Kevin Nealon.
Kevin Nealon.
From
He
Wheaties.
said hello to me, bro. So I said hello to him too. Plus, I was on the show with him, so I got to kick it with him. Then he went to first class. And I went to my seat by the restroom aisle. Yeah, so dude, I'm walking around chilling. Had a long weekend, but I was in Vegas doing press. I'm at the airport, and I see like this healthy-looking man with a little square face, tan, wearing a hat. Just him. Nobody recognized him. I recognized him right away, bro.
The mustache.
But he had the mustache. But I had to make
How do
sure
you
it
not
was
recognize?
him, right? Because I don't want to just walk up to anybody and say what's up.
The
So I looked at
imposter.
his bag right there, bro, and I saw Oakland A's. Okay, fuck it, I'm going in. And I said, "What's up, Ronnie Fingers?" Damn, goddamn! What an honor! Oh my god! I can't believe this. Used to play with one of the greats when I was a little kid, man. Like John the Count Montefusco,
Damn.
and I started naming all these pictures, bro. of his
Catfish Hunter.
Catfish
That's
Hunter,
what-
yes.
that was in my head right
Vita
now.
Blue.
Vita Blue,
Those are
Luis Tiant.
Yeah, man.
You know,
like
and
the
you were
Civil
part
War
of
era.
the A's, man. When you get, like the good A's, when Reggie was there, when he was Miguel Mario Reginaldo Jackson,
Joe Rudy.
Joe Rudy, bro.
Was it Bert Campaneris?
Yeah, and then that dude that used to coach the Houston Astros, but then he played for the A's too, Ford or something, Tom Ford, I forgot his name, Dan Gray, Tom Gray, I don't know,
Yeah, I forgot.
forget his name, bro. But he goes, wow, you know a lot of old time pitchers, right? So then I took a selfie with him, bro, and I said, man, oh my God, I'm here with Ronnie Fingers, greatest of all time, Hall of Famer. Fuck all you hipsters. This is a real fucking mustache, you fucking posers.
Yeah, I
And
see
then
that
he just
video.
turned me. But anyway, dog, then I got a little, I started noticing I got a little creepy afterwards, so I just left. But damn, dude.
That's cool, man.
Hell yeah.
He was
man.
tall.
He's tall and healthy, bro. He has a big ass hand, bro. Like that baseball must have been a golf ball to him.
Raleigh fingers, dog.
Yeah, man. Then I called up Joey Coco Diaz because I was supposed to do his podcast, but I was fucking cocksucker. I want you to do it when you're fucking not tired. I want you to be alive. Alive for what? When I get there, I'm gonna be loaded. Yeah, but I was tired, bro.
Yeah.
At least I was tired
Exactly.
too.
It's best that you didn't go.
So I
but-
didn't go, so I took a long sleep.
That was last night.
Yeah, I mean, you have 8 flights to take
Yeah.
this week alone. So
Recharge your batteries.
you need to.
So Joe Diaz went to the baseball game with
Eddie Bravo.
Eddie Bravo and the kids from the class from the school, 16 kids, general admission, and so we started talking about baseball, bro. That fool started talking about old ass players, bro. Remember the Red Machine?
Oh, yeah.
With Sparky Anderson,
Oh,
Joe Morgan,
of course.
Dave Concepcion,
Yep, Johnny
Yeah.
Bench, Griffey, Ken Griffey Sr.
George Foster.
With that black bat, 50-ounce bat. They say he had the heaviest bat outside of Babe Ruth.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, they say that bat was heavy.
And then back, and none of those hitters from the Reds were home run hitters, bro. They were just bunting and hitting doubles and triples
Just
and
moving
knocking over fucking back catchers.
Scoring runs.
Here's one. Cesar Geronimo
Damn.
played for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are.
Geronimo, bro.
Those were the guys that were playing when you guys were little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were more Latino people when we were kids, huh?
Yeah.
And more black people.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time, bro, and like, I saw this documentary when everyone, like, the Pirates were playing another team, and they stopped to notice that it was the first time in Major League Baseball, it was all black people on the field.
Pirates had a lot of black players. For
A lot of
Dave Parker,
Dave Parker,
Willie Stargell,
and then that guy who
Frank
the
Tavares.
guy who pitched on LSD,
that
right?
guy who
What's his
pitched on
name?
LSD.
E begins with the E.
Search it, Lisa. Come on.
I can't think.
Oh, was it Stargell?
Yeah, there's a Netflix movie about him on Netflix.
It's a great Doc Ellis.
Doc Ellis.
Doc, there it is. Yeah,
That
Doc
fool
Ellis.
said he took an acid tab and hit the only perfect
It
game
was a
in MLB.
perfect game.
He said there's a
He was-
Netflix movie of him
On Netflix.
I thought it was a 30 for 30 though. No.
No, I don't
No,
know.
it's an actual like
Oh, it's a
documentary.
documentary.
Yeah.
But
He
it was
was-
so good because I mean,
Psychedelic
but
cover and
the
shit.
thing is though, you know, LSD. I mean, it in addition to tripping, like you can become hyper focused with it. You know, it does. On small doses,
bet you-
microdosing can help you
I bet you
focus.
his acid was so good, or maybe he had it under control, that he
Nice
saw
thing.
the strike zone, bro.
It was clean.
Possibly,
probably.
yeah.
He saw a yellow
I
strike
can't
zone.
imagine doing anything like that.
I was gonna
but-
say, is this
I've
book
never done
knowledge or is
No,
this?
this
No,
is,
no,
no,
he
this
said
is
it.
serious.
No, I know. I was saying she was elaborating, and I was like, oh, she's really breaking this down.
No, there's
So it's-
microdosing.
There she goes.
I've been looking into microdosing
Yeah.
a lot lately. Just interested in it because it helps with depression and stuff like that. But also,
Are you putting that in my food or what?
no,
I've been feeling relaxed lately, bro.
no, I'm not putting it.
I'm growing boobs. I'm growing boobs, bro. What I know.
That doesn't have anything to do with acid.
Yeah,
No,
one
but
time I did it.
I've been looking at microdosing for mushrooms and things like that because you can become more productive. There's no tripping. There are no hallucinogenic effects when you do microdosing, when you do small doses. But you have to experiment with what a small dose is for you. You know, your body weight.
Yeah,
and
that's
your
the
size.
trick. Figuring it out.
That's the
how
hard
it was
part.
with me. My daughter brought me home some chocolate from one of those weed joints.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to
And,
Cupcakes.
yeah. So she brought me home some chocolate, and I took a piece, and then she's like, "How was it?" I said, "It didn't do anything." She's like, "Well, maybe you need to take a bigger piece of chocolate." So the next day, I'm sitting on the couch, and I took a bigger piece, like almost half the bar. I couldn't move.
Yeah. Oh
I was like comatose. I was like a mummy. I was
Done.
like, man.
Were there mushrooms?
no,
The
weed,
remote
like
was
a-
right there. I'm like, I couldn't even get it. I was like, I was stuck. I was like, whatever
Yeah.
was on, I watched.
Everybody's different though, dude. You got to find your little happy medium.
Yeah, I was gone.
I had a little cap and stem, and I woke up feeling great.
Oh, mushrooms?
Yeah.
Oh, Mickey Shroom says everybody should take LSD. That's his recommendation. So.
The only thing about LSD is that some
Mickey
people
Shroom.
some people can go crazy and never come back.
Oh, you
But I think
can.
those people are already crazy.
But this, yeah, the thing is, if you are
Just gotta
predisposed,
intervene and say, you know what?
Or like on
We're
the-
going to make you
if
crazy.
you are predisposed to things like say schizophrenia,
Well, that's what I was
that
gonna say.
sort
A lot of
thing.
people have that thing that'll
But they
like
don't
trigger
know.
it, and then because we knew a dude that like was smoking pea dogs, and after that fool just started doing karate kicks, never went back to school. Still lives at home with his mom and dad.
What they call that for watas.
He'll
think
sit
that's-
there
that's
and
what
look
happened
at a
with Sid
pole
Barrett,
dog
no?
for like 45 minutes, and then start kicking it, dude. And
He'll
then, like,
just be
he'll walk.
he'll be standing there at the corner on the like by the
Yeah,
bus stop
dude,
with
gone,
nunchucks,
dude.
just
Some
standing.
fool
But why
brother.
Kung Fu?
I don't know, dog.
released the kung fu
That's
part of his
hilarious.
brain.
But that fool
Yeah.
never came back.
Kung
dude.
Fu
Well, that's
Jones.
what, I think that's what happened to Sid Barrett from Pink Floyd too. Like he supposedly drank a bunch of liquid acid, and just never came back.
I had a Japanese friend that used to come to the hood, and his name was Dean, and he had a brother named Phil. I don't know if his real name was Phil, but no, David or James. I don't know. Regardless of the name.
It's one of them. It's a
But
name.
that fool,
He had a name.
That fool took off, man, on an acid trip. From what I hear, from those guys, the older guys, and he never came back. He came back, but not all the way. Like he comes and goes. And when I was living over there in Atwater, I used to see him at that Silver Lake Mental Hospital right there where you used to live with your ex-husband and Ike. So I used to always see him chilling right there. But he never came back. So he's like institutionalized. Right. All he wanted was a Pepsi.
And that fool that used to work with us at La Cucaracha, he said he smoked P-Dogs when he was like 13 and
Primos?
12. Yeah, no.
PCP?
PCP. And
I don't think there's any microdosing of PCP.
He said he's always a little late. He's like, you go, hey, Tommy, come here, dude. Huh? Like always like a 2 or 3 seconds.
It's not like he's faking that shit, bro, to not work.
Nah,
There's an
dude.
episode on Seinfeld when a guy fakes death.
Yeah, like Rob Schneider fixed.
There's a little screw loose in there, dog.
But he was well enough to pass the exterminating test, right?
Dude, it took that fool 17 times.
But PCP's different, though. That's different than LSD. Way different. Yeah, that'll fuck your brain up, man.
Yeah. What, PCP?
You know PCP, Ray?
It's elephant tranquilizer.
I'd be scared to try anything. Because like
anything?
Like Lenny Bias, that's it. Like Lenny Bias, like they say the first time he ever did cocaine and he died.
Yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't want to be one of them.
That's that Celtic player?
Yeah.
He got drafted?
Yeah.
But he had some good pure shit, though.
Yeah, I don't think that shit was cut, dog.
No, either that or he wasn't his first time.
Or he had
like it just did. I mean, I don't know.
It wasn't his first time.
Yeah, but you could have a heart attack. Anybody could have a heart attack any time.
But his heart's beating already fast, and he was running around. It was gonna happen sooner or later.
Yeah. That's I was always scared.
When you do crack, man, you're not supposed to run around doing marathons. You do crack,
you chill,
man, and then when you're done, you rip the carpet out of the hotel room and look for crack under there, and that's when you know you're done. When you start to realize that you're ripping the carpet out of the hotel room, that's when you stop and you go get more crack. Hey, what the fuck? What's doing? I have money in my pocket. But you don't go on a mission, man, and go play baseball or do activities.
I think years ago you were on a good one, and I saw you running around the parking lot.
Well, you couldn't do crack. You couldn't do crack. You couldn't do crack. Don't be on a baseball field.
I'm not the guest here tonight. It sounds great.
But don't people
like real? Wait, let's get back to the jogging in place.
You ran around the parking lot down on Main Street when you used to live down at the Loft, 2nd and Main.
So what's chasing me, dog?
This was the New Year's Eve night, I think.
Shape. My New Year's resolution was to lose 10 pounds, and I was going to start at midnight.
And you ran around the parking lot like full speed afterward.
How many laps did I do?
I don't know, but then I was like, I'm just going to go home because this is not my scene. And
you ran her out of there.
And you stayed. And then I picked you up the next day, and you were a mess. Yeah, it was bad times. Bad times. That was those bad times, 2008, 2009.
I don't even think about running now.
I know. Running sucks.
You should have with me.
You were full speed around that parking lot. You know the parking lot in the back?
How fast was I, though?
I don't know.
Right,
I thought you were going to hit a car.
You're too old where you don't even think about it because you'll get tired. I'm tired from thinking about it.
You work out all the time. What are you talking about? You're still tired about it?
Man, I can't believe I was running around the building.
Skedaddling. Hey, don't be back in the day when people were using cocaine to go dance all night and all that shit. Doesn't that get your heart going?
Yeah, but then they mix it with alcohol to kind of
pecker too, don't they say that with a boner and all of that stuff you last all night?
So I was going around the building though.
No, around the parking lot.
Okay,
the parking lot in the back.
So I was square dancing.
Yeah, square.
Okay then.
Line dancing.
Yeah, it was a weird day.
Oh my God!
What's up, fool?
It's
man,
pretty,
we met Ray Lapowski in Chicago back in 2002, Rodrigo, or 3
days, dude. It's been a long time.
What was that club?
Riddles,
yeah. That place provided everything for us but the cash. Now that place,
Park,
they already got paid. That dude was cool with me. They took care of like anything we wanted. They got. Even when Rodrigo said I want a haircut, they send
his homie Sam to cut it for me in the
he got a haircut in the bathroom and shit.
In the hotel, dude.
All prison style.
That club went above and beyond, and I think people truly thought or really respected the club and just the people, the environment. It was one of the best clubs in the country to do at the time.
I always got paid, and even when like there was a problem, like one time I 2 weeks before the show, he told me that the kitchen's broken and they're gonna do some renovation or whatever. I'm gonna cancel your date, but I'll get you later. I was like, oh, cool, whatever.
Where was this?
Riddles.
Riddles.
It was owned by
Chicago.
By a cool ass dude. What's his name?
Brant
Flores.
Flores, yeah, man.
Yeah, Chicano to the max.
Orland Park.
Illinois. You know what I heard about him? I don't want to like misquote, but Sam said that Michael Pence, right? He's the vice president, right?
Yeah, because he's in Indiana now.
In Indiana now, right?
That's where he's from.
And that's where Brandon probably lives now. So they've been like trying to talk to him to maybe run, bro.
And get into politics.
get into politics because he has a fan base and he's Latino and he's Republican. So you never know. Brandon Flores, 2020.
That's what Mikey O should do. He should get
Oh,
into
that's what I'm
politics.
thinking.
Why doesn't
Mikey
he?
O should just do
he
that.
He knows everybody.
Everybody.
You know,
I haven't
Rahm
seen him in forever.
Emanuel.
You went with him too?
Oh, yeah, I ain't
Rahm
seen him
Emanuel's
forever.
not running for re-election next
No,
year.
he's not.
So I think Mikey could put a stop to all that stuff.
What is Mikey? Oh, wow. He's from Chicago.
Yeah.
You work with Mikey Okendo?
Yeah, I ain't working with him forever. Years, man.
Where at? What show you do?
I have no
East
idea.
Chicago?
I have no idea.
Give me some Mikey O, bro.
Oh, I can't even do Mikey O.
He's got a little Chicago in him and a little Puerto Rican sometimes and a little. He's got a weird mix.
What is he,
there.
like Filipino or something?
No, he's Puerto Rican.
Oh, he's Puerto Rican?
Yeah, to the bone,
To the
all the
bone,
time,
bro.
man.
Damn, I thought it was like part like.
He's hardcore.
Bro,
Puerto
he booked
Rican,
he booked Willie one time with Alfred Robles, bro.
Did he used to do
that's when he wanted to
Joe's
go
on
and
Wheat
fight him?
Street?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe's on
Does.
Wheat
Joe's on
Street.
Wheat Street.
Still does, yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
still
a
does
nice,
it?
Yeah, it's a nice.
Pack that shit.
No,
out.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great little venue.
300,
Intimate.
300, I
Like,
think.
for
yeah.
like 400 people,
think
but it's a
s-
nice,
yeah.
intimate venue. It'd be a great spot to like shoot a little special,
Mm-hmm.
like DVD or something.
It's pretty high up, though. I don't know what the acoustics are like if you were recording it. Like, it's
Yeah,
high
that,
ceiling.
yeah,
That's nice, though.
Yeah, it is nice.
I like it.
Then Mikey O, man, that fool just he had a character, bro. Like Anthony,
Mike Robles?
like Frank Quinones.
He's got like a grandma, sort of Puerto Rican grandma character that he does. Sometimes he dresses up like her and shows up on Facebook. It's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's got a gray wig and
I
I
didn't
think
even know
Mikey
that,
O is
dude.
running the base motel now.
I forget her name. It's like Belinda something.
Belinda Cochina.
Belinda. I can't remember her name.
Wow.
Yeah,
You ever
that's
done that?
absurd.
You don't do characters?
Where did you start, Ray?
I started in Chicago.
Like a long time ago, 20 years ago, like me?
19. How did it start? I was in my car, leaving the post office.
You're a postman?
Yeah, I used to work at the post
Orale.
office. And I heard a contest on the radio. And so I went to it, and I had an Armani suit on because I was a supervisor.
Don't be lying.
And so I
This
went,
fool.
and it was on the south side of Chicago where I never would go. I
Wait,
didn't know
postal supervisors wear Armani suits?
nothing. I did.
Chicago, they do.
No, yeah, I did. I literally had an Armani suit on off
Who's
the rack.
collecting envelopes out there?
It was
And-
off,
and
off
passing
the
out
rack.
envelopes.
Off the rack, it was, and this is back in what, 99. So off the rack, it was like maybe $2,000.
What?
Yeah, and my dad would be like, "What the hell are you buying a suit like that for, or suits like that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Where the f you go?" I'm like, "What do you mean?"
You
like
could have
this?"
gotten 4 suits, bro, or maybe 5 or 10. 10 suits.
10 suits
10
downtown
suits,
LA.
bro, at Good Fellas. No, Suit Fellas.
Yeah. But
Those are
so
bootlegs.
I heard about this contest. I went to it. Never told a joke in my life. It was the longest running comedy contest in the country at the time. It was called the Miller Genuine Draft Comedy Search. I ended up taking 3rd place, and everybody was like, "Who the hell is this white dude?" Like,
Wow.
Wow,
so-
congratulations.
yeah, they're like, "Who is this dude?" But the way that it's
Who won?
I don't even know who won.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody, third place always goes to be a champ
Yeah,
in
no,
life.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who won that.
And you did your time in your suit? You went up on stage on.
For the audition, I did.
Oh, okay.
And then no, but for the rest of it, I still like dressed up. But and you know what's weird? You know what I felt weird about when I saw you on the airplane when we ran into each other in
Yeah.
D.C. I was like, damn. When I was driving up here, I'm like, damn. I had the sweatshirt on when I ran into Felipe on the airplane. I was like, he's gonna think like, is that the only sweatshirt he's got? I'm like, damn. I should have wore a different sweatshirt.
So you'd never told a joke in your life.
Never told the joke.
How much
in my
time
life.
did you do? 3 minutes, 5
We had to
minutes?
do 3 to 5, I think, for the competition.
So what did you
For-
do? You just went up and started talking, ranting,
I started
and
talking about
bagging on
this. I
people?
started talking about this one Chicago comic because he was the only person that I had recognized. I saw him on Def Jam, so I talked about him, and he hated it, and he was like, "He'll never work in comedy. Like, I'm gonna blackball this dude."
What?
Yeah, like he hated me because I did a gay joke about him.
Oh.
Like I was gay and he was gay, and like that I was with him, the night before, and so the place went crazy, and and they were like, "Who the fuck is this white dude? This dude is nuts," and so 19 years later, I mean, for a good 9-year run, I was doing everything. I was on every TV stand-up show that there was.
When you first started?
No. let's see. Well, actually, like 2 years in, I started, from the Comic Views. I did, like 4 seasons of Comic View, Comedy Central, HBO, Showtime. I was on everything. And people were saying, Ray Lepofsky's one of the next comedians to blow up. And I'm like, no, it hasn't happened yet. So, but.
When I was in, when I first started, like a year and a half in, 1996, I got a TV show, Showtime Latino Laugh Festival.
Oh, wow.
And then every year, for 3 years, they put me on a show. So every year, and then after that was done, the same producer started another show. So I got to, every time this producer went to a show, Jeff Valdez, he'll put me in a show. Same thing with you, right?
Yeah.
Like you're friends with a guy who started Def Jam.
Yeah.
Like you, because I remember when you and I, we did that show with JB Smooth.
Yeah. It was horrible.
They were treating.
I don't think they ever aired that. Right?
I know, man.
No, they didn't
We
air.
couldn't
I
find it.
remember-
It didn't run long.
Yeah.
It
I
didn't
remember
run long.
I saw Ray, and he looked defeated, man, like tired. Like he must have flown out Chicago on a red eye. He landed at noon. We're taping at 5, and he showed up with his bags. He has this PA person in his face and yelling at him. You gotta get ready for because they wanted to get ready for the stand-in, and that fool just stayed like quiet after he waited for her to be done. I'm gonna take a shower and take a nap, and I'll see you later.
Yeah,
And
sometimes.
I said, man, I wish I could do that.
Right.
They fucking kick me out. I fucking
Sometimes-
got here on a bicycle.
But no, sometimes people don't realize like what goes into like even taping some of these TV
No.
shows.
PAs don't know.
No.
They don't know what you've been through
know the
before you
routine.
got there.
Like, you know the routine.
Yeah.
Tell us about the routine.
Well, sometimes again, like for instance, like the Comic View, one of the Comic View seasons that I was taping.
Nobody Casino.
From my season before, just off how like the reception that I got from it and like the emails and the write-ins and whatnot to BET about again how well the performance was. The following year, I had like the best spot on the taping of a show, and then George Lopez ends up coming in, and they're like, Ray, we're gonna have to bump you. And I'm like, I didn't mind. Of course I have to take a back seat to George Lopez. This is George Lopez. He's got his TV show. And I'm like, yeah. They were looking at me like, you're not gonna take a back seat to George Lopez? I'm like, of course I will. But why do I gotta take the back seat?
Yeah, why
like,
me?
bump somebody else off this show because I got like the primo spot in this taping.
925.
So I had to frickin' do the 1 o'clock in the morning taping.
Oh,
Where
man.
the audience is tired.
But the audience had been there already for 5 hours, and because they thought that there was going to be a new audience for the last show, there was no audience. There was nobody outside. So the audience that was already there, they kept begging them people to stay. So now they already had been there for 5 hours. Now they got to sit for another 2 for this last taping of the TV show. Maybe 200 people stayed out of like the 1,000. And so it's 200 people in a 1,000-seater. So it's empty. You got the 200 people sitting up front, so they're only panning in on the 200 people, obviously. And I'm the first comic that's got to go out. And I was like, oh my goodness, was it awful. That when I say I bombed, like, oh my goodness, them people were just looking at us. Like everybody bombed on that show. No, you know what? I take that back. The only one who didn't bomb was Lisa Lampanelli. She went out and for
woke
whatever
everybody up.
murdered that thing. I was like, what the hell? And Lisa Lampanelli, I don't know if she's still like this, but she was like really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Blue?
Well, but like in terms of where she always feels like she doesn't do well. So she's like, she has to, I'm not saying that she's looking for acceptance or for like, oh no, you did great. I'm not saying that that's what she's looking for, but she never thinks that she does well. Like she literally came backstage and she was like so nervous and like, scared. And she was like, how did I do? And we're like, what? Like you just murdered this thing. We all bombed. So it's, people don't realize like sometimes those type of things affect your set as well and what you have to deal with. But, oh well.
Yeah.
Did they end up airing that?
I don't think we aired. I know Lisa did, but I don't think I aired. I think I got cut. I don't think I aired that
Wow,
one.
that's crazy.
That's like when you did the Miami South Beach thing with Cheech, and there was no audience because you guys were taping at 11 a.m.
Yeah,
And they were
that's-
going out on the street, right? What are you doing? They were going out to like pull the audience in off the sidewalk, like begging
was
people
sad.
to come in, right? Cheech is hosting, you, Al Madrigal, Johnny Sanchez, who was on
See,
that
he
show?
started off
That's
with 1,000. We
show.
started off with 10.
You started with nothing.
Then we
yeah.
begged 40 to come in. It was
So it
sad,
sounds
bro. There
like
was-
everybody's
there was
bombing.
people there.
There was nobody
There
in
was
the
people at a show, bro, with grocery bags, bro.
They're out
they were
shopping.
doing groceries, bro. Like
Right,
then-
milk.
like
Captain,
Gilbert Escobar
come
and
on in.
Gilbert Escobar and I don't know who else. Hey man, we're having a comedy show. La, la, la. And then they were, yeah, how much it cost? Nothing. All right. They went there, bro. Like you can hear a bag going.
Save
They're
it.
like 50 people, bro.
In a theater.
How embarrassing it was because Cheech Marine was
Yeah.
hosting. Like he hadn't been on anything before that, like a comedy show, and
Yeah,
nobody
dude.
showed up. Like, and it was during the South Side, the South Beach Comedy
Yeah,
Festival.
South Beach, yeah.
But we were like on the side of the South. You know, the South Side had the main show, blah blah blah. We were like in the project side. You know, we were like Calle Ocho, bro. We were in the cheap side, bro. Nobody showed
But
up.
in the daytime.
In the daytime, bro. That shit started at 3:00.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude.
Yeah, those tapings suck too when you got those early ones.
And Al Madrigal was on the show. They fucking made us bomb. Gilbert Escobar had to do warm up and a set.
Really, dude.
Damn.
Wow.
For the same audience?
Yeah, bro.
The same audience. There's 50 people.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, bro, after that show, me and Carlos Dasco and Joey Medina went to this bar, and I pretended I like wine, bro. So I got drunk. A free wine that Joey Medina was buying. I was drinking slow, bro, talking and talking. Carlos Dasco was talking. My glass was empty. I kept going. I drink some good wine, but I miss wine, bro. But you know, wine leads to alcohol, which leads back to fucking ripping
Coke.
carpets off, bro.
Yeah, don't even go down there.
There you go.
I remember that one time you were like, "Oh, I think I'll just stick to wine now," and I was like, "How long is this gonna take before he gets back
Merlot.
to the Coke?"
We're out of Merlot. So you
He
drink?
lives for
Never
Merlot.
drank?
Yeah, I drink.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Ray Lapowski here, the only guy who's happy that Callie Mack went to the Bears. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I am happy about that. I saw Felipe, he posted on Instagram. He was like, if Matt goes to the Bears, he's like, I'm done being a Raiders fan. I was like, well, are we still going to be friends, though? Will we be cool?
To be fair, you shared Manning's post.
Yes.
You weren't really saying.
You know how
were
many
gonna be a
people?
Ra-
I
right.
did a lot of press for that show in Las Vegas, and everybody, because since the Raiders have moved to Las Vegas, everyone asked me about Manny Maldonado's post, but they thought I posted it, and I was
Oh,
on,
you know, I did. I didn't notice that.
and I was on TV, and nobody bothered to see repost.
Yeah, they ignore
So,
that.
oh man,
Yeah, sure.
I told that guy from Fox News, I said, listen, that was a repost from Manny Maldonado, and who lives in Modesto, who's a diehard Raiders fan, and I was reposting it, and I asked people, what you think?
Yeah.
So everybody turned around on me and wanted to kill me
They
instead.
said, "Bye, Felipe."
They were telling me, bye, Felipe.
All right.
Unfollow. So
Deuces.
then the guy goes, so how do you feel about the Raiders trading back? Listen, man, I've been upset since the Raiders went back to Oakland. When they went to Las Vegas, that's closer to my house.
Yeah, I'm ready to go over to Vegas.
We're ready, man. We're ready to stay in Brawley or Barstow.
But people brought up a good point, though. I mean, I'm happy about them going to Vegas, but like your average Joe who goes to a game, now they've got to get a hotel. They've got a lot pricier ticket, higher price ticket, higher price weekend to just go to that game now. You know,
You know what? That'll keep the people that start fights away from the
That's
game.
true.
Anybody who's friends with Birdman won't be there.
Economics.
Anybody who drinks cheap beer won't be there.
That's kind of true.
You know,
yeah.
like
well, you
anybody-
still have people from Henderson coming over.
You see, oh, there you go. Don't piss off Henderson.
Henderson's not nice?
Henderson in Nevada is where all the cholos and gangbangers
where they
from
moved,
LA
yeah.
and Southern California go to retire, bro. And
Relocation
start a new
program.
life. Go and become Christians, bro. Or, really like change your life. But Henderson's gangster now.
Yeah, they got a victory outreach.
It
out
started off when all the Crips, all the Bloods, and all the Mexicans started moving out of LA during the racial riots. The race fights between blacks and Mexicans in the 1990s. They moved to Moreno Valley, and what did Moreno Valley turn into?
Midnight at noon.
It turned into more Negro Valley. That's what they were calling it,
This is not your phrase.
Not
That's
my
somebody
phrase.
else's phrase. Let's make that clear. This is a repost.
Right.
not-
Right.
No, this is actually a statement that some black fool sitting on a stage.
right. Yeah. It's not your term.
He goes, this black comedian one time said, he goes, man, this should just call it. No, it was even a rap song by an Ice Cube.
It was just an old ass joke I used to do at Cheers.
There you go. See, Rodrigo said it, people.
Yeah.
I do a joke when if you do performing in New York, you're in all of those boroughs.
Yeah.
And one time I was performing in Harlem. Oh, it might have been at the Apollo. And
Oh,
predominantly.
you performed at the Apollo.
Oh, yeah. Predominantly black audience. So I was like, do you guys like that? You know, some white people now are moving in and, you know, all the gentrification and all that stuff. And then they're like, hell no. I was like, well, now you know how we felt when you guys started moving in. and they would get
Good
mad.
joke, though.
Yeah, like, now you know how we felt when you moved in.
It's the old reverse, but it's a
Yeah.
good joke. But people, you know what? That's a great joke, but you know what? If you were to say that now or post that, they only see the first part.
No, right.
They'll read the first part, and that first part will trigger them so much that they won't even have time to laugh. Fuck you, motherfuckers, for not laughing.
Yeah.
That pisses me off now.
It is.
People are so hurt.
They stop thinking.
And you know, people are
After
so
they hear a
hurt.
word.
And you know, there's comedians that we know that do like the crowds. You know, they're more accepting of those words. Cause there's a comedian named Capone. That motherfucker's dirty.
Yeah.
He could be offensive, but his audience, his fan base, love that dude.
Yeah.
But you put that forward, he ever tweets that joke, one of his jokes, and then somebody with a lot of followers reposted it. Forget about it, man. People are gonna cry.
Yeah, because like you said, they're only looking at the first part of it. They don't see the whole thing. It's the same thing like with when I do a joke. Again, if it's say like a black audience or more of a black audience, when I talk about February, and I'm like, you know, I want to speak on behalf of all white people. We can't wait for this month to be over. And they immediately get all offended and get mad. And I'm like, let me finish before, you know, you get all your panties in a damn bunch. And he's like, F you, fucking cracker, all of this shit. And I'm like, dude, like, let me finish. I said, were you not, I'm going to show you my intellect. I said, were you not just as proud to be black in January? What about when March 1st comes? Are you not still just as proud to be black? I said, what I'm saying is black history is not 28 days. It's 365 days. Just like all history is. I said, look at the Hispanic people. Look at Mexicans. You're bitching about 28 days. They got a fucking day.
They got half a month and a half a month.
They're the hardest working people on the planet. I said, you don't hear them bitching, complaining about nothing. So
we have Cinco de Mayo and 1 week of Hispanic awareness.
Heritage Week.
So
yeah.
I'm like, it's just people.
That's what Morgan Freeman said.
Man.
Exactly everything you said. Morgan Freeman said in a quote, "Why got delegated to 28 days? Why are you giving me 28 days?"
Well, supposedly,
Black
it's because, I
history
think
is
it's
every
because
day.
it's Frederick Douglass's birthday
Yeah.
or something in Feb. So
Well,
something I don't know, but
There should be sent a little check or something, no?
Little
But also-
reparations or what?
But also, there's you're right. The separating it out can be problematic because history itself, American history itself, is Black history. Black history is American history. You can't separate
you
them.
can't. It's
You can't.
No, it's
Where
you
not.
have
America
to
got
teach
its
it all.
capital,
Yeah.
its original
Everything.
capital.
all
This
in
country
co-
was built on the back of Black
Yes.
people, and
Yep.
you cannot
It was
deny
a black Holocaust.
Well, it is.
It's all encompassed together,
You know-
and the reason, like I tell people, like we live in a black and white United States. We live in a black and white world, but especially in the United States, it's a black and white world. I said, but then who even came up with those colors? Like nobody's black and nobody's white.
Right.
Like white is this, you know.
Mellow.
Nobody's
Right.
that. Plus, and everybody else is in those two spectrums of colors. I said so, and the only two people that bitch and complain about everything are white people and black people. You never hear the yellow people, for the lack of a better color.
Talking about-
Hispanics and Asians bitch about anything.
Or Jim Pompa, he says he's taupe. I'm part of the taupe people.
Yeah, the taupe.
Speaking of colorism,
The taupe. The shirt. The taupe.
oh yeah. Speaking of colorism, you know, I have a joke about colorism. You know, like whatever, right? And then some lady hit me up on Twitter. Felipe's joke about colorism, blah 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 blah, whatever. And then I explained it to her. She was cool. But what I want to explain it to you?
Exactly.
But I explained it to her. But then she said, you know, has anybody, you know, who listened to that joke thought about having a place to talk
But
about
have
it?
they ever wanted to talk and discuss it? Like,
Hell no. My
it's a
joke
fucking
ends after the
joke.
laugh,
Yeah.
biatch.
Right.
We're gonna have a lecture.
Right,
or what?
right.
Have you
workshop?
run into that problem too?
Oh yeah, sometimes.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
People forget that we're not running for office.
You're right.
We're not trying to. We're not
com-
going to
we're
save the
comics.
world.
We're
You
comics.
know what?
You're not doing the TED
Just
Talk or Q&A.
let me tell you how it
afterwards.
is, man. I did the Brea Improv last week, and I was standing outside chilling. Then I was thinking to myself, I looked at Rodrigo. You know what? People shouldn't complain to me, man. I work at the mall too.
Yeah, dude.
Pretty much.
I work at the mall. You the improv right next to Old Navy. Don't complain about my show. I work at the mall.
Because most of them are in malls now.
Yes, I work at the mall, biatch.
Right.
Talk to the
manager.
building planner
Right,
here.
Yeah, that girl, she had some interesting
Yeah, she
points.
did hit
But
your point,
she's
but-
she's that younger generation who's very woke.
millennials.
You know,
Oh,
and
yeah,
she-
You're so woke you can't even figure that out.
well,
No,
that's
right.
the problem.
Give
They
me a
don't.
break.
But I don't think they understand. This younger generation doesn't understand what comedy is, and
No,
they haven't.
don't.
They
That's
haven't
why you can't do colleges no more.
Right, and they haven't
so
seen,
PC.
They haven't seen the older comics
Personal
like
computer?
George Carlin,
Yeah.
these other people, Richard Pryor, that make you think. You're supposed to go home and think about, you know what? That was funny, but
Like-
it's also
but
deep. It's also
Carlin,
true.
Carlin would get murdered today if
Oh,
that
I
man was
know.
alive doing
Oh, yeah.
comedy.
Richard Pryor too.
Well, he has a,
But
he,
compared to an Eddie Murphy.
Eddie
he has that
Murphy.
bit on the N-word.
Yeah. the
If you
whole
if
thing.
you listen to that bit, you know people can consider it racist, but
Yeah.
it's not. Just breaking down what that word is, ignorant.
It's like I had a dude approach me at the Improv here in L.A. Approached me after the show. He said because I said the word fag, and he got all offended. And I was like, I said I'm sorry. And I said, are you a fag? And he was like, no. I was like, I was gonna apologize. I meant no disrespect. I said, do you have gay friends? He said, no. I was like, well, what the fuck?
It's
What is
all-
your beef then?
It's
Everybody's a
always
champion.
people who are not affected who want to be complaining
always-
about
They
it.
always want to have a voice. And
Yeah.
I said,
Everybody wants a platform.
You
yes.
just want to feel like, hey, I did something.
I stood
I
up
don't
for
get it.
somebody today who never asked me to stand up for them.
He was like, well, that word's really abrasive and offensive.
You didn't
it
tell
shouldn't
that
be to
fool,
you.
let me show you my intellect.
Well, that's the thing. He has a joke. He has a joke about people in wheelchairs, right?
Yeah.
But you've actually had people in
Wheelchairs?
wheelchairs come up to you. I love that joke.
yeah.
They're
And
so
he goes-
happy for
he goes-
representation.
he goes-
we
he goes,
talked about.
Because they had told me you should do more jokes about wheelchairs.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I can't, man. People might get offended. He goes, who? People who could walk, bro. People who could fuck standing up. You know,
Those
people who
people
could
get
fucking
mad.
tap dance, dog.
There hasn't been one person in a wheelchair who's ever been mad at
Never,
your
man.
jokes.
And sometimes it's like even when I look around the room and you say you do like if you got a fat person joke.
Yeah.
Oh, my
You do
God.
no, but sometimes it's the fat people that are laughing the hardest,
Oh, yeah.
and the skinny people
Yeah.
are the ones offended. I'm
I
like,
know.
how can
You're
this
fat
obese
shaming.
woman be dying, and you're over here fucking pissed? Like, why?
Yeah.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
And the other, like,
Victims advocate.
the other day, I was referring to somebody. Oh no, last night. You know, after my interview, I gave a seat, one of those drop cards I have of my album to this lady. Then I told him, I remember the cameraman with a fan, right? But I don't know his name. I said, "Think the cameraman with a fan." I go, "Which one? The fat one." Then I walked away. It was time. Thank you very much. Then I walked away. I was talking to my publicist, Veronica, and I said, "You know what? 2 years from now, I'm not gonna be able to say that." He goes, "What? The fat guy?"
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Somebody's gonna cut me off and tell me, hey, man, his name is Manu." And I said, "Well, I didn't know his name, man. I want you to know right away who I'm talking about. The fat guy,
The clinically obese
or the
guy?
black guy,
Oh, yeah.
or the fucking Asian guy. Who was it, bro? You know, bro, the guy over there, bro, the one." Oh, fuck, he was wearing a red t-shirt, bro. Okay, fuck, I don't know, bro. He had fucking ugly ass hair. He had hair like fucking Mo. So now, the other person, we're playing a game now. We're playing fucking charades when I could have just said it was the fucking Chinese guy. But he goes like, no, the guy with the fucking, the little guy, man, the guy that weighs 100 pounds. The guy that fucking looks like he has a ninja star on him. Oh, you talking about the Asian guy? Yeah, that's Luke. Okay, fucking, it was fucking Luke Shang.
You do a lot of black rooms, though, right?
I used to.
Oh.
I mean, you didn't know, like I didn't know there was such a thing as like urban or mainstream.
Well, that's all.
you don't know
lately
that.
it's been divided.
Yeah.
Is that where you
I mean,
cut your teeth?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
So
Where he started.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you don't
a
know
baby.
that in the beginning, especially like just from watching TV. You know, there wasn't anything out there other than Letterman and Leno and Letterman.
Yeah.
So you had the Tonight Show, the late shows, and stuff like that. So then when Def Jam came on, everybody watched Def Jam. I don't care who you were, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, everybody
huge,
watched
man.
it. It was insane. It
and
changed
was
comedy.
Funny,
Hell yeah,
and
it
it was
did.
like-
It changed comedy for
Yeah.
the good at
Comedy
that
was
moment.
bland at that time.
Beyond
Bland,
Yeah.
man.
They literally were a voice for people to truly speak out and say what everybody basically
I
says.
know, man. Like back then, man, there was a lot of white comics. Not to say they were not funny, but they're A&E at the Improv. But enough jokes about burning toast. Like I don't get it. I can't laugh at burning toast jokes or airplane food.
Yeah.
I want the hoodie
Yeah,
jokes.
you talk about what's real. I mean,
Yeah,
if you, like
yeah.
I did the Laugh Factory when Jamie still had it in New York.
Buddy, come back in 2 weeks.
Frickin' I did a shit joke and the white host who I had no idea who it was, like I headlined the room and
Fuck
so when
that
I was
guy.
done, like I killed the show. And it's everybody's there, white, black, Hispanic, it's Times Square. Get done, have an unbelievable set, selling my CDs. she says after I'm done, she's like, oh my goodness, like, isn't he supposed to be some famous comedian and he does a shit joke? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're talking about me while I'm still in the room and you're the host? I said, now I yell out, I said, oh, well, you do some relationship jokes. I said, you're brilliant. Like, that's not redundant. That's never been done before. I'm surprised you don't have a sitcom already. You should have a TV show. Like, who hasn't done a relationship joke? You're the first person ever to do it. So I'm like, you know, people, you even got comics that critique comedy and critique comics. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, do we shit? It's a bodily function. We do it. Like,
yeah, man. When you're not funny or successful, or on a TV show, you become a comedy blogger, and that's how you do this shit on good comedy because you fucking suck.
But you've never told one joke.
Never told one funny joke ever.
You know how somebody can be funnier. You know what somebody's lacking. You know why somebody sucks. Like, dude, it is fucking horrible.
And that's what, like, people who, like, there was somebody who was going to like a comedy class. Like, I'm like, there's no rhyme or reason to this. There's, you know, because people always ask me for advice. I said, the only advice I can give you now, if you're an up and coming comic, is try to become an internet sensation overnight, like some of these people are doing. I said, because now our comedy clubs don't ask your agent, well, what's his credits? How many followers does he have?
Yeah.
It's all about
That's all
followers.
they care about.
That's the first thing they ask. What you're following? I deleted my social media years ago. I literally just got back on it. So people are like, I was in Whole Foods in El Segundo with my daughter yesterday, as a matter of fact. Some dude's like, comedian? I said, yeah. He's like, Ray Lepowski? I said, yeah. So I'm with my daughter, and I hate being with one of my daughters because people look like I'm like, you know, the sugar daddy with, you know, this kid. I'm like, it's my fucking kid. Like, stop looking at us like that. And
How old is she?
24.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, aren't you like 35? How the fuck is she 24? Which ever when she was 11? When you were 11? I said, no, bro, she's like, he's like 55. I say, hey, I'm 52. I'll be 53. Relax, I'm giving me some extra years.
So you had her when you were 19 then, huh?
No, I had when I was 29.
Oh, 29. Oh, I'm sorry. 10,
Yeah,
20,
so 29. I'm like, I'll be 53 in December.
Yeah.
I know when I walk up with my daughter, I look like a fucking Arab guy who just got a girl on fucking Tag Your Sponsor. And then when I walk with Lisa, people are high-fiving me.
Got you white one.
You always do that, man. Like, you ever date a black woman?
My wife.
He's married to
Oh,
My
my
wife.
bad.
I was. My wife was.
Oh.
Yeah, but did you ever get shit from people, or did she get shit from people? Or
Oh, we did all the time.
it's always friends, huh?
Especially where I'm from, because I'm from the west side of Chicago. Then I grew up in Cicero, Illinois. When I grew up in Cicero, it was ran by the mafia. I grew up with
That's
kids
where
whose
Al
dads
Capone
were
moved in to took over the town next to Skokie,
yes,
and
yep.
they that was their home front.
That because he got tired of
They
paying off the
paid the
Chicago cops and
mayor,
politics,
they paid
everything.
everybody.
Because it was a small little town. It was the first town outside of Chicago. 10 minutes from Cicero to downtown Chicago.
And it's got a Roman name.
I love this.
You had three major streets: Cicero Avenue, Roosevelt, and Cermak. Then you had two major highways, 55 and 290, going in and out of Chicago. You had the train, so it made sense to set up shop where Al Capone did. So, I mean,
no, it's a lot messier there, bro. They call it Chicharo.
yeah, it's like 90 something percent.
It's Chicharo.
Hispanic. Like
That, Melrose Park.
I did a show there back in the days, and there was a family in Cicero that we went to their house, and they were all Mexican. You know, the kids were born there. So the dad was born in Mexico, and they have a snow and plowing business. During the normal summer, they cut trees and they saw wood, and you know they pretty much do whatever they could do. But in the winter, those fools were the first guys to have like a snow plow in their Monte Carlo or whatever, or in a truck, and they were providing snow plow for the hood. Mm-hmm. And then they just grew and grew, bro.
They do the hood last.
Because nobody does that for the hood, so they were doing it for the hood, taxing fools. But man, they made us a soup with meat, and we put cheese in it, and they made homemade tortillas for us. And then the youngest kid, he was like 17 or 18. That fool smoked me out, bro. It was fucking amazing. And the guy we were with, that fool, they made him quesadillas. Yeah, but that's where you're from, man.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up there, man?
I mean,
It must have been nice, huh? Beautiful.
it was cool when
kid.
when you look at it now, though. Like, you don't realize when you're a kid how racist it is and all of that stuff. Because you're a kid, so you go with what you know. You know, you grow up only around white people and white kids. I didn't know none of these kids that I grew up with, their dads were made mobsters until I got older. Like, literally made mobsters. Like, in order to be a made mobster, you have to be 100% Italian. So, you know, seeing this and then seeing these kids' dads are, you know, in jail now for the rest of their lives, and I was like, damn. So, again, looking back, like when people say that they're a product of their environment, I say I beg to differ, because if that's the case where I'm from, I'm supposed to hate black people. And I married a black woman 25 years ago. So I said it's, like people, that whole color thing too, though. Like we always got looks everywhere we went. I was like, this is fucking nuts, man. Just because I'm like, if you're miserable in life, like people want to take out, their misery.
Hell yeah.
They just want you to be miserable as well. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Like I talk about that on stage, and I'm like, like, I don't want people to think like, because when sometimes people compare me to Gary Owens, and no disrespect to Gary Owens whatsoever. I'm like, but we're totally totally different comics. But the only common is we were, Gary's been married to, I don't know how long he's been with his wife now. I know 10 plus years, but I'm like 25 years. Because then people think like this black woman married me only
just Jungle Fever
he's this comic on TV, so she married him because he's he's about to be some big comic. I was like, no, she married me before I didn't even do comedy then, and when I told her I was doing comedy, she was like, "You're not even funny." And I was like, gee, thanks. Like, thanks for the support. Like,
Married
you're
the
awesome.
supervisor with the Armani suit.
Yeah, she's like, you're not even funny. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I remember the first time I got my first gig, we were in our driveway at the house, and someone called me from Comic View, from BT, and I thought it was somebody playing around, and they're like, hey Ray, like Lisa, from BT, I'm trying to book, I'm looking for Ray Leposki, I want to book him for Comic View. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, who is this? And she's like, excuse me? And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Is this really Comic View? I'm like, how did you get my number?
Damn,
and
bro.
It was my first Comic View I did in Miami at the Jackie Gleason Theater.
April 1st, April Fool's joke, bro. Paulo Rodriguez on a plane with Merlin Martinez and Joey Medina, and they called the Big Bam Bam, bro. From the plane. They called up Ernie G, and they said, hey, man, this is Jim.
Paul pranked him?
Jim Clemens from the Letterman show, and somehow we got a hold of your video. Can you please call us at 212-262-4544 like that? They hung up, bro. They didn't finish the whole number, though.
Oh, so he's going crazy. Was he calling you guys? Like trying to get the number or what?
Joey Medina told me,
That's the
bro.
best prank.
Best prank ever,
Hilarious.
bro.
How about the one time they got Theo Chompies at the Ice House?
When Rick Gutierrez first moved to LA, Joey Medina, maybe it was Joey Medina, bro. Joey Medina and Willie
Joey sounds like he's a
Willie
prankster.
Barcena, they crank call him, hey man, we just got your tape again, and we're thinking of having a development meeting. Can you just meet us at the Ice House around 2 p.m. and we'll have her there. That fool takes a shower, bro. Died to have a cigarette. He didn't have cigarette breath. And he gets there, bro, and there's a note that says, loser. Or welcome to LA, something like that, dude. That fool never knew, man.
You hear some funny stories about some of these like big name comics like do just some funny shit like that, like, or even like sending just like chicks to rooms and stuff like that. But it'll be like some like overly obese chick or something that they pay to come to somebody's room, and now like, hey, what the fuck, like, what are you doing here? Like, I'm dancing, all of that. So you just hear funny stories. That shit's hilarious, though.
Hey, dude, those towns are still kind of corrupt over there, like Cicero, Melrose Park, and all those places.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I heard a dude that living there, because my grandparents used to live there. But anyways, like when you open up a business, they'll give you the license, but then like a dude will come in, hey, you got to get the fire sprinklers from us. Yeah. Hey, you got to get
everything. Every code and ordinance, Cicero has its own. To show you how corrupt that town was, Betty Lauren Maltese, whose husband was a made mobster, she was the town president, because it's
like townships or something.
Yes,
right?
yes. So it's a
They don't have aldermen over in that part.
It's town president, and she was living in Vegas while running Cicero while she was living in Vegas.
Are you serious? Dude?
Yes, that's how corrupt it. Up until 2000,
crazy.
then she went to jail
She was
for
living in Vegas. And
she went to jail for like
Chicago,
8 years
Cicero.
because of all of that racketeering and all of that stuff and payouts.
And it's funny, supposedly too, like when Obama was running, that's one thing they never mentioned, that he came from a corrupt ass state, and then that Rod Blagojevich got busted trying to sell his seat.
Yeah,
that guy. There was a guy that when I was working in Vegas, I was doing press. He from Chicago. And he told me that the biggest mobster in Chicago never got arrested. He stood on the limelight. He let Sam Giancana get all the press.
Yep.
What was his name? It was Tony Batts.
Tony Accardo.
Tony Accardo. And that fool was part. He was. I read more about him. He was one of the killers at the
biggest
Valentine's Day massacre.
Really, that's
my dad. One of my dad's best friends was one of the drivers for Capone.
And that fool said that he started. He was taxing a bunch of whorehouses in Chicago.
Al Capone had one like 4 blocks from my house in Cicero.
And then later on in the '80s, when shit was changing, that Tony Bass made it a legitimate escort service.
There was at least three whorehouses in Cicero.
Wow.
And there was the one that in Capone's day, it was like a club, restaurant, all that stuff, and a brothel all in one. And the lady who was the madam, she lived there until she passed away. And I wanted to go in that house so bad. Because I'm like, there's got to be some shit in here.
Yeah.
Like he's got to have some buried. There's something
in the walls
in his house.
or something.
Something's in here. And then they just knocked that place down. And she had like 1 million cats. She had like over 100 cats. He used to call her Cat Lady. It was fucking weird.
Funny that Tony Bass never been arrested either.
Tony Accardo. I went to school with his granddaughter.
What was the success of not getting caught?
He just stood away.
Those old mobsters. Yeah,
he never talked on the phone.
Yeah.
He was never in a group.
Yeah.
We're running it.
They say he was the head of all the syndicate.
Yeah,
not just of Chicago, of all of it.
Really, dude?
Because that's Giancana back in the day too was like that too. That he was the head, not like anyone from New York. That Sam was the man. Like he was head of everything.
He was dating one of the McGregor sisters, right? One of the singers.
I don't know.
There were these 3 singers. They were twins, triplets, and they were. I don't know. He was dating one of them.
I know, but Sam liked a little bit of the limelight. I think.
Yeah.
They say
Sam kind of looked cool though, bro.
No, yeah.
He got that nice suit.
Yeah.
And the slick black hair, and then the rimmed black glasses.
And they say he would try to date Hollywood starlets and stuff like that. And
he's the one that was getting pursued by Robert F. Kennedy, right?
I think something like that. Cicero was nuts, man. But again, you didn't know that as a kid, like. You knew everybody on the block knew you. You could be disciplined by somebody on the block. Somebody telling you,
old school right there.
Yeah, beyond old school. Like now, try to say something to some kid, like, hey, get out of the fucking street, kid. You're about to get hit. Yeah. Don't tell my kid. Who the fuck are you to talk? You're like, okay, let this fucking idiot get hit then. Like, are you kidding me? I'm trying to help your kid out.
Where did the Irish live over there in Chicago?
Chicago, there was no exact location. No, it was no clumps of even though Chicago is so segregated. But in Cicero, there was no segregation. It was everybody just, there probably was.
There was no ethnic
there was
segregation.
No, yeah, there was
there
no,
were no black people,
definitely no. Black people wouldn't even come to Cicero.
They always stuck to the south side?
Yeah, black people would not. The only time they would ever come to Cicero would go to Sportsman's Racetrack. And then I had buddies, because you used to have to go to Sportsman's Racetrack, you would have to come from Chicago, and you would take Cicero Avenue. So once you got to Cicero Avenue, you would turn down, 31st, and you would make the left, and you'd have to go under this viaduct. And when you would have to go under the viaduct, I would have buddies that would sit up on the viaduct, and then when they would see a car come, if it was a black guy, they would throw rocks at their car. I'm like, why the fuck do you do that? And they're like, fuck these N-words. And I was like, dude, they ain't bothering you.
It's like the Bronx Tale.
Yeah, I was like, that's literally what it was like. So I was like, but they're not bothering you. They ain't doing nothing, man. How would you feel if somebody's throwing rocks at your dad's car? Like, what the fuck? So I wouldn't do shit like that. So, but you get ingrained with certain things, and then at the same time, you either. Because I don't care what anybody says. I think racism starts at home. Like, if
hell yeah, dude.
If you got parents that are like that, I'm like, my parents never talked about stuff like that. I mean, did they ever say the N-word or stuff? I'm sure they did, but it wasn't like. But I'm not gonna say it wasn't with hatred, or it was with hatred. I don't know, but I don't know. I just
a lot of love. Like, man, that N-word really could dance.
like talking about Jordan. That N-word can really jump. Like, is he amazing? Like, I love Jordan.
Funny, man. I did a podcast with a movie podcast and we did a show. We saw that movie, the Hateful Eight, right? The cowboy movie.
Mm-hmm.
Tarantino one.
Hateful Eight.
Yeah, and what's the name of the guy with the podcast? We had him on the show.
Oh, Dwayne Perkins?
Dwayne Perkins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they said the N-word like really more time than I ever heard,
thousands.
Right? Thousands, right?
That's Quentin Tarantino.
So what's the name of that comedian again?
Dwayne Perkins.
So Dwayne Perkins, we had a game when we saw that movie. We counted how many times they said the N-word in a positive way. it was the same, bro. Same number of times.
Well, I the first time I came out here, I had my car out here and whatnot yet, so I took the 210. I don't know, somebody asked me to come do to like the Laugh Factory or the Comedy Store. So I take the 210 and all that stuff. And I'm like, I had never heard the N-word said so many times.
By Mexicans.
No, by a black dude. But he said this, every other word was like my N-word. You know what I'm saying? My N-word, my N-word. I was like,
oh,
I wanted
hell
to say,
yeah.
like, I wanted to stop and be like, dude, how many fucking times are you going to call this dude and reference your buddy as the N-word? Like, you know what I'm saying, my N-word? And then he say something, my N-word. And I was like, oh, my goodness. Like, he's making my fucking ears hurt. I said, dude, like, shut the fuck up already.
Did Jordan help out race relations at all in Chicago, do you think?
You know what? It's weird because I would even say this like about my dad. Like my dad would say racist things, not even realizing I don't think he's saying them. He'd be like, yeah, black people love chicken and watermelon. I'm like, you like chicken and watermelon. Like, the fuck are you saying? Like, are we black, Dad? Like,
I like it too, man.
You who don't like fucking chicken? I love it. The El Pollo Loco by me on Crenshaw and Artesia is the best El Pollo Loco. I think those dudes in there season it themselves. Like
change the Pollo Loco recipe.
Yes, like they were like, we're gonna do it the way we want it. Because I hate when people say something like is like Chipotle or something's not authentic Mexican. Well, of course it's not. But then what is authentic Mexican? I'm like, all Mexicans are in there making it. They're all the ones working in there. So
it's really just beans and meat and rice there.
It's authentic to me.
It's cold tortilla.
I had a good burrito in Chicago too, man. Famous burrito.
Chicago.
El Famous burrito, I think.
El Famous. Chicago, in my opinion, has
they
the
cut it in half.
Best Mexican food on the planet. I've not found good Mexican food out here.
You're not hanging out with the right people.
Yeah, you go to the wrong place.
It has good Mexican food, but not the best.
Because my sister used to live in this I don't know, it's like right outside of downtown Chicago. And it's one block. It's an Italian block. There's 6 Italian restaurants on one block. It's called.
Just whose reference right now? You were gonna say Chipotle.
No, Pollo Locos. That one by me. I'm telling you, Crenshaw and Artesia, the best El Pollo Loco there is. That dude seasons it himself. But my sister, so outside of that one block, it's called Little Italy. Mm-hmm. It was all Hispanics moving over there. So and when I would go to Chicago, I would stay with her, so I don't have to get in a hotel and stuff like that. So. There's always this Mexican dude, Javier. He'll be pushing that cart. It'll be like 6:30 in the morning. I'm sleeping in the living room on her couch. No, he'll be like, raspas, frutas, elotes, ringing that fucking bell. And I'm like, dude, it's fucking 6:30 in the morning. Who's eating that shit at 6:30 in the morning? And I'm like, now that you woke me up, let me get one of them corns. Like, yeah, let me get one of them elotes. Put that mayonnaise on there with that orange, that sprinkled shit you put on there. Like, let me get one of those. It's 6:30 in the morning. I'm eating this shit. Wonder why I got high cholesterol.
This fool Javier is a G.
Who's a G?
Javier, somebody who's listening live said Javier is a G for doing that.
For doing that. El Pollo, he seasoned himself. It might be Javier. I don't know, but he is. That's the only El Pollo Loco that I go to.
I'm hungry now for El Famous burrito right now.
No, Chicago. And then there's a place in Cicero called Mr. Taco. It's on Ogden Avenue in Austin. It's been there for like fucking 40 years. When I went back, I had it, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. That place is exactly the same. They've not changed anything in it, and they make a killing. And that burrito tasted exactly like I remember when I was a kid. I was like, oh.
How about pizza place? You have found good pizza in L.A.?
No.
There's
go to
no
Masa.
good, I'll tell you
Masa
that.
sucks.
You don't like the Chicago pizza? You been there in Echo
yeah,
Park?
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
That chef is from Chicago.
No,
he's from Chicago, bro. Come on,
no, that's
bro.
sucks.
You want a casserole or what?
That's
You want a pizza casserole?
No, if you're gonna get real deep dish pizza, you got to go to Paisanos on State Street in Chicago. That's
Paisanos, not that place you said?
Paisanos.
No,
Giordano's is touristy though.
Yeah, it's more touristy, but Paisanos is authentic. Uno's is definitely authentic, hands down, one of the best. But no, you got to go. And then Portillo's, but there's a Portillo's out here. So
where?
Moreno
Buena
Valley.
Park, yeah, Buena Park.
Moreno Valley has one now.
Yeah, you got to go to Port. You ain't had Portillo's, bro?
I did a long time ago. Hot dogs and shit.
No, yeah.
Oh, when we were at Riddles.
Oh, yeah.
There was one across the street. Yeah.
Next door.
Right by that White Castle.
How many times
Yeah. Yeah, man, those were the days when we used to do that.
Italian beef.
Did we talk about how many people were in that show already?
No.
Tell them who was on the show, bro.
5, dude. It was me, Martin Moreno,
Rick Gutierrez,
Felipe. Who else? Joey Diaz.
And him.
Yeah.
And Joey Villagomez.
And Joey Villagomez.
No, I don't. It wasn't Villagomez.
No.
It was a Spiga.
Oh, Alex Ortiz.
Alex Ortiz.
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bigger.
But I miss those riddle days, man. When
Man.
Diaz, Ari Shafir,
That's
crazy
right.
ass Bert.
Cocksucker.
Yeah, you do him, dude. You sound just like.
Do it, Rodrigo.
Bro, there's not gonna be no voices today. You know what I'm saying? Hang on, I'm wheezing. Yeah.
I went to a Dodger game, being Eddie Bravo, 16 kids. It was amazing. Do or die. Ha ha ha.
Your voice gotta be killing you when you're done doing it.
Nah, I'm all right.
You get
I'm all
notes
right.
on your vocal cords.
And about the he's
You
and
sound just like him, dude. That's amazing.
So, what do you prefer, man? Cubs or White Sox?
White Sox.
Yeah, you never. Would you ever go to a Cubs game?
I've gone to Cubs game.
Cause one time when I was in Chicago, Mikey O tried to get me some Sox tickets, and that fool Joviel Gomez blatantly said I ain't going without me inviting. I wasn't even gonna invite that motherfucker, dog. He said he ain't going. Shit, we went to a Sox game, right? Bam!
Yeah, dude, on the field, they hooked us up,
we know one of the trainer guys now.
Okay.
He's a fan. I got to meet Harold Baines.
Okay,
He
awesome.
gave me an autograph. Ball!
That's
Yeah,
cool.
dude, it was cool, man.
Oh my God!
No,
man,
that's
was-
one of the cool things too.
that
about-
was
about,
fun,
like,
man.
like we don't know who knows us, and that's like one of the cool things that comes with it. Like when you get somebody who's famous and that you're a fan of, and then not even realizing like they're a fan of yours as well. You're like, oh, you even know who I am? Like Derrick Rose, when he was Derrick Rose, MVP Derrick Rose.
Oh,
He would he would always wanted me to hang with him, and I'm like,
Derrick Rose was both.
man.
Fool, I have his shoes in my house.
He would hit me up and be like, what are you doing? And I'm like,
Did you kick it with that fool?
oh yeah, all the time. I used to hang with him. Used to go to the clubs with him all the time.
He went to kick it with you?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I was like, because when I met him at the, I was doing Martin Lawrence's First Amendment. We were doing it at the Chicago Theater. And you've done the Chicago Theater.
Yeah.
You know how you go in for the entrance for the entertainment and whatnot, and all the trucks and whatnot are set up on the side. Like it's an alley, but it's not an alley. So I was, getting ready to go in, and Derek was on the side over there, and he was calling me, and I was like, I hear somebody saying Ray, so I look, and I see it's Derrick Rose, and I'm like, he's not calling me Ray. He's like, it must be some Ray behind me. So I'm looking, and he's looking like, what the fuck? I was
Must be Ray Lewis.
like, yeah. So I walked over to him. I was like, hey, dude. And I was like, you know who I am? He was like, yeah, you're one of my favorite comedians. I said, wow, damn. Cool. Same thing with Evan Turner. Plays for now the Portland Trail Blazers. He wasn't even on the Sixers. He wasn't drafted yet. I was in downtown Chicago on Michigan Avenue. I was on the west side of Michigan Avenue. He was on the east side. And I hear some black dude screaming my name. And I'm like, who the fuck is this big-ass black dude screaming my name? So as he's walking across the street, I'm like, okay, I know this dude, but I don't know his name. And then as he's getting closer and closer, I said, damn, that's Evan Turner. That's right when he just left Ohio State, and he was the Naismith College Player of the Year. And I was like, hey, damn, you're Evan Turner. And he's like, yeah, like you're Ray Lepowski. And I was like, yeah. So I said, you know who I am? And same thing, he said almost the same thing verbatim like Rose said. He's like, yeah, you're one of my favorite comedians. I watch you all the time when I'm having a bad day. And I said, man, like,
damn,
cool.
that's
appreciate
awesome.
it, bro. But you ever get somebody say some shit
Yeah.
like this to you, like, hey, are you Felipe Esparza? And you'll be like, yeah. They'll be like, no, you're not. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, someone came up and he's like, are you Ray Lepowski? I said, yeah. He's like, no, you're not. I said, you're right, I'm not. He's like, yes, you are. I'm like, okay, make up my mind. Am I me or am I not me? Like, are you fucking kidding me? And then when Dane Cook was big, I'm on this plane. I got the aisle seat. I got two young white kids, like maybe 12 and 13, middle and a window seat.
Foo Fire.
Hey, dude.
So-
hey, dude.
He's
hey,
like,
dude.
yeah, they're looking at me and they're like, they just kept staring at me. I said, you guys want to say something to me? They're like, is your name Ray Lepowski? And I said, yeah. They're like, do you know Dane Cook? And I said, man, get the fuck out of here, man.
You should have given him a Foo Fire.
You don't care about me. You care about
so
Dane
fine.
Cook.
Did Derrick Rose ever ask you to hold his crutches while he gets in the car?
No. No, I ain't talked to him ever since, like, he had the knee blowout. Like, he went into, like, seclusion and, I don't know. Like, he was always...
just having bad
he
days.
was just aloof and, he was just, like... He was like a private dude with the exception of, I mean, he went out to clubs from time to time. But, family, definitely family-orientated man, loves his family and whatnot. But after he blew out his knee, I texted him a few days after, and I was like, hey, bro, like, keep you in my prayers.
Still want to hang out?
Yeah, right. You want to go to the club? Look for some bitches now. So I never heard from him again, so.
The Salamanca family loves you, by the way. Somebody
Salamanca.
said. But that's Salamanca from a fucking...
From Breaking Bad.
That's a town in Guanajuato, Salamanca.
What's up, fool?
Yep.
Man, so what's it like, man? You work with D-Day Ravens.
Yeah,
A lot of people, I open up with a lot of people too, man. like Russell Peters, fucking Paul Rodriguez. What was it like to go on the road with these guys? But you started with these guys, huh?
Well, yeah, I've been working with D-Ray for like, not that I've been working with him, but I mean, I've known D-Ray for 19 years. And, sometimes comics can fall into where I think I'm kind of at, where you fall into a place where some big name comics don't want to use you. Like there's got to be some big name comics that don't want to use you, not because they don't like you, because you're too funny and you're going to make them have to really work or struggle to come after you.
They'll give me 5.
Then you go hit them with that quick 5. What can you really do?
Rodrigo.
Quick 5.
Yeah, what can you really do in 5 minutes?
I'm trying to give me a quick 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a quick 5 there, motherfucker.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Did you know Corey Holcomb?
Of course.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's not, comics, but when you get somebody like D-Ray who looks out for
or Mike Epps.
But D-Ray always, Mike Epps too, they always like a strong
like Scruncho,
feature.
like strong.
They like
fool,
somebody
man.
who they know is going to kill, who
could do an hour and be late.
There's not a lot of comics like that because then they feel like for D-Ray, not that I'm going to speak for him.
Who could do an hour because I'm going to be late.
Oh yeah. you know who I had to do that for, and I was pissed.
D.L. Hughley.
No, for fucking Ari Spears.
Oh.
He doesn't speak to nobody. He doesn't say shit. We did a college. I want to say it was like Wake Forest University. I was only supposed to do 30. It was only me and him. Well, it was a woman who booked us, female comedian. She's from out there, like in the North Carolina way, because I think Wake Forest is North Carolina.
Yeah, I think.
So she hosted it. Deborah Terry, she did like 10 minutes. I had to do 30, and then Ari's supposed to do like his 45 to 50. I do my 30. Ari's still not there, so she's like, Ray, can you do like another 15? So I do the 15 now. So now I'm at 45. She's like, Ray, I don't think he's coming. So she's just like, keep going. I had to do another 45.
Oh my
I did another 40. Did another
an
45.
hour and a half?
I did an hour and a half.
What?
Now he finally comes, and he acts like it's no big deal, and because she wasn't going to pay him. And then he ends up going up. He didn't say a word to me, didn't speak to me, didn't say, hey, like,
Didn't
thanks,
say
bro.
thanks?
Didn't say shit to me.
Wow.
Didn't even speak to me. And I was
wow.
like, so when you see people, I'm never going to speak ill or bad about anybody, but I look at it as when you see people who are funny that are going through some things that they're going through, and I'm thinking like, what are you really going through? Because there's a lot of people, a lot of comics that would love to have the livelihood that you have and be booked at the amount of times that you're booked. Because I tell people all the time, like when you're having a bad day, you stop and ask yourself, compared to who? Mm-hmm. Who you having a bad day to?
Compared to Nick Guerra, bro.
So
got punched by Willie.
Catch me slipping at a restaurant, dog.
But
here with my little sample.
yeah, so some comics, I think like if you don't respect the game's not going to respect you.
Eventually.
I know
it'll catch up to you.
Old quick.
And it caught up. Yeah, I think it caught up.
And
to
there's somebody, I'm not going to say his name, it caught up to him too. I did one night show at the Fort Lauderdale Improv or whatever it is. It's
Hollywood or whatever.
Yeah,
Hollywood.
I got a one nighter Thursday, and it's the 10:30 show. He's booked for the weekend. His show is at 8:00. He's got the one show Thursday, and then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He's over now a half hour. He's over. The manager's lighting him. He looks at the manager, says, "I see the light. I'm not getting off. Fuck that light." Okay, the lines. My show sold out. 500 people sold out because it's one of the bigger improvs. It's sold out. We're like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? So now the host for my show is like lighting him too. Nothing. He ended up doing like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh my God! When there's a show after.
There's a show after.
Was his show packed?
No, hell no. It was like half of us a Thursday. Not every.
He was expressing himself.
So
he had lots to say.
He then comes after the show, says, "Man, my fault, you guys. I wasn't conscious at the time." We're like, how can you possibly say
ignore the light?
Yeah, you said F the light. You see the light, you're not getting off, but you just said
submerged.
you weren't conscious of the time. I was like,
damn.
And now I was thinking to myself, this is exactly why you don't have your TV show no more, because of shit just like that. Because you think you're bigger than you are now, and you don't respect the game and or the comics that are trying to get to the level that you're at. Like when you start shitting on comics and shitting on the game and acting like you're bigger than comedy itself, you're done.
Keep that shit to yourself.
Yep, yeah. At least keep it to yourself. At least keep it to yourself.
What did he say again for our listeners? Guy?
He said, "Fuck that light. I'm not getting." He's like, I see
that's
the light. I'm not getting off. I see the light.
Later he lied.
This is the manager lighting you. I see the light. looking direct. I see the light. I'm not getting off. Fuck that light. And then proceeded to do at least another 45
cut his microphone
after
off.
that. I kept telling myself, you got to
After the microphone went off?
I would have
No,
cut
they
it.
never
I
did.
said I would have cut his microphone
and
off.
for that show, for that 500, for that show that was sold out for my show, I want to say probably like 120 people left.
Damn.
Because it was so late and it's a Thursday night. People got to go to work. 'Cause it's already 10:30. My show didn't start till almost probably midnight.
Shit.
When it should be ending at midnight.
I was a manager. I'd have somebody walk up there and put him in the sleeper.
Well, there was a younger, a newer
sleeper
comic years ago at the Laugh Factory. I remember he was bombing on Latino night. He was bombing after like 5 minutes.
Bombing, supposed to do 20.
Supposed to do 20. He was bombing after 5. Jamie himself. He
there?
walked in there and it's like, who the fuck is this guy? He sucks. He
Get
went
him
and
off. Does he
lit
have
him.
long hair?
He's flashing. He had long hair. He has long hair now. Anyway, he was flashing him over and over and over. He didn't get off. He did the 20. He finally gets off. Jamie said, "What's wrong with you? Why didn't you get off?" And Mika was standing there too. "Why didn't you get off?" I wasn't done yet. I didn't finish my 20.
You got lit though, dog.
The owner lit you. You get the fuck off the stage. He never performed there again. Like as far as I know.
I had the mayor of Chicago Heights take me off the stage. I had to do a show for these old white people, all the old white people that were retired workers for the town of Chicago Heights. So when I got there, it was a little $100 gig, and it was like 5 minutes from my house. So again, all these old white people retired. So I'm supposed to just host it. So I'm hosting it. Like my first 10 minutes, I'm killing them. And then all of a sudden, I just paused. And when I paused, some old lady, probably like about 80, she was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean?" So I'm taking a break. She's like, "Why?" And I was like, what the hell? So then I forget what she said in the dialogue that we had, but this is the part I remember. She's like, "Well, you're not funny right now. You're not. What are you doing?" I said, "Lady, it doesn't matter if I'm funny." She's like, "What do you mean?"
Was that Adam Sandler?
No, it's this lady. So
It's Whitey, one of his characters.
Madam Sandler.
So she says, she's like, she's.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
It was.
Happy
So
Madison joke.
So she says, "What do you mean it doesn't matter?" I said, "Because half of you in here's got Alzheimer's." I said, "I could be the funniest comic you ever seen or the worst you ever seen. By tomorrow, you ain't gonna remember this shit anyway." Man, that mayor was like, no, he didn't come up yet. That's not what pissed him off. So then I talked about how when I was a kid, Cicero didn't have no garbage disposal pickup where you had to pay for it. It was garbage service. Now you
Waste management.
waste management. You got to pay for that shit. So I said, who came up with
Rubbish company.
Who came up with this scam for this fucking waste management shit? It was his parents that owned the business.
Ooh.
So he came up on stage and literally like took me off stage.
They call up Hollywood. Y'all know Ray.
You're done. Never worked
So I
in
mean,
this
there's
township again.
the stories you gotta have, dude. As much as you're on the road, dude, and when some of these funny ass dudes you're with, you gotta have stories for days.
Triple G or Canelo?
I'm going with Triple G.
Triple G.
Me too.
Rodrigo?
Triple G.
I'm going
Lisa?
with Triple G.
I have no
this time.
idea. I don't know anything.
A lot of the
about
critics are
Canelo's-
saying Canelo though.
Canelo's last fight, he ate some tacos in Mexico, and he said they were laced with steroids. That was his excuse. Yes or no?
He went to the El Pollo Loco by me.
Triple G, Rodrigo?
Triple G.
Or Canelo, Colorado? What's up, fool? Upcoming shows: Atlantic City, New Jersey, September 7th at the Borgata,
That's
Washington,
this
D.C.,
Friday.
September 8th. That's this Saturday. At the National Harbor Casino, Las Vegas, September 14th. At the Joint, at the Hard Rock Casino.
And you're going to be at the weigh-in that day too.
Yeah, with me and Rodrigo could probably even weigh ourselves after. Laughlin, September 15th at Edgewater Casino.
Continue.
Lexington, Kentucky, September 20th to the 22nd at Comedy Off-Broadway. Springfield, Massachusetts, September 29th at City Stage Symphony Hall. Check out FelipeWorld.com/tour for all upcoming shows. Podcast t-shirts are on sale now at the FelipeWorld.com shop. We also have tote bags. That's right, tote bags. For those of you guys who care about the environment, we have tote bags for you to go grocery shopping with. They only cost $5. Also, you can also buy the digital download and translate this on my webpage too.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to those 4 people who bought the album this week.
The vinyl.
The vinyl.
Double vinyl. It's cool.
We got upcoming
dates?
shows.
Yeah, I'll be with D-Ray this weekend
you guys
in
going?
Richmond.
Hey, were you there?
Virginia.
Sorry, I'm in the truck. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're at Richmond
Virginia?
this weekend. Yeah, Richmond, Virginia at the, is it the Funny Bone? Or is that the Funny Bone?
Funny Bone, yeah.
Richmond, Virginia.
He still does Funny Bone over there. Isn't that his area? Isn't that his market over there? DC, Virginia.
DC, like when
DC did like 10 shows, right?
11. We did 11.
What was that like?
Shows. That was crazy.
Did they just keep adding them once you were there, or did they add them before he even got there?
Some of them
they
are
have the
before.
same agent.
Some of them are before, but yeah, like
You did 2 shows Thursday, 1 show Thursday.
I want to say Thursday we did 1, but we just we did
like 3 every other night or something.
we did Nebraska, but we stopped in Nebraska and we did Omaha. He did 2 sold out shows on a Thursday because it was already booked for the weekend. But whoever the comedian was there that was there for the weekend, he didn't do the Thursday. So being that we were going to Kansas City, we stopped and did Omaha, and he did the 2 sold out shows for a Thursday, which is big because I've not seen many comics sell out Thursdays, and he did 2 sold out Thursday shows, and then we went
In
out
Omaha.
to do. Yeah, in Omaha.
Omaha.
Then we did Friday.
How about Toby?
Oh, what's good, Omaha?
What was it like to do 11 shows though?
Oh, it's crazy. It's tiring,
So did 3 shows Sunday. And you did like 30 minutes, 25, 15?
Yeah, I got to do 30 because it was just me and him. So
My leg.
when it's just me and him.
Just
yeah,
you and
I
him,
gotta
no opener.
No, yeah.
He sells merch?
No, he used to. He don't. I don't know why he don't.
You do?
Yeah, I sell a CD.
Boy, I saw
See?
I saw
Big
fucking
contact
I saw Scrunch on a plane. He had a middle seat next to me, and then he was talking about the shows. Then I kind of like started dozing off, and a big whop of money came off his pocket, and I picked it up and I said, "Man, your money is come unstowed." and then he said, DVD money.
He calls it mattress money.
Mattress money. But he sold a shitload of DVDs or CDs. Yeah. Outrageous. Like he sold everything.
Some comics do. They say Michael Collier sells like crazy, and it's like
$40. He sells hats, right?
That fool sells capes, bro.
I don't know, but it's crazy.
Fur capes.
I don't know, dude. But they say the amount of money that he makes in merch sales is insane.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like insane.
All right, we gotta wrap it up.
What's up, fool? What's your Instagram? Since you have an Instagram now.
Yeah, Comedian Lepowski. Comedian Lip. Lipowski. Comedian Lepowski. It's just my last name. So comedian in front of it and my last name. And man, I truly appreciate it. Been a fan of yours, bro.
Thank you,
Love
bro.
you, and I wish you, both of you guys,
Thank you.
continued success and all you do and aspire to do, man. Love you, man.
I love you too, man. We try to get D-Ray Davis to call in.
Okay.
And bust your balls, but
Count on you.
I guess he's a busy man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might,
One of his sisters
Sleep.
must have responded. Okay.
Can I plug these 2 people that came out?
Plug it, dog.
The shout outs to Ricky at RickyN207 on Twitter, came out to the Brea shows. As for a shout out, and Jenna at Jen Stupid on Twitter. Congratulations on your 5-year anniversary with your boyfriend. And September 11th, Viva Los Jokes, Zacatecas Cafe, 8 p.m.
Shout out to Raleigh Fingers, man.
Oh, that was fucking badass, dog.
Oh my god.
I was tripping, dog. I was like, all right.
Starstruck, bro.
He still got that mustache?
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah!
Dog. And the black tips on it, huh?
Yeah, man.
What's up with that, dude?
You took a picture?
I took a picture, bro, and I stalked him.
Is he like? Do you think he's like Joe Namath? Does he still get up with girls and stuff? Or
Well,
is
he was there with his wife
Oh,
and
okay.
his son.
He's
dude.
a family guy then.
And he was
Joe Namath still banging chicks?
Well, did he get busted for grabbing that one girl by the cheeks and going,
I don't know.
at the Cheesecake Factory.
all drunk? No, probably like 5 years ago now.
I know, like that generation thing, they could just grab women and kiss them, bro. Like all of a
You
sudden,
can't do that no more.
So
Those
the
were the
kissing
good old
bandit right
days.
here, bro. Raider Posse with a cape in a White Sox hat.
He has his own kissing booth in Cicero.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that no more. Like, I remember guys just like every time meeting a woman, they're kissing them, bro.
Hey, you remember that one
My
time?
dad.
You were gone though, dude. You took off, but
But really laps again or what?
no, dude. Fucking Big Dog made out with a 70-year-old lady from the stage, dude. It was disgusting.
When?
I was talking to Martin about that last night.
A long time ago?
Yeah, it was like 2004.
It was that old. It was that
Old lady, dog. She was older than Debbie. She was like 70 at that time.
Felipe stuff.
And then he came back the next day. Does she come back the next day all dressed up?
No, that's another one. But she wasn't. That lady that came back dressed up wasn't as old as that lady.
Fool,
She was 60. This lady
So we're
was
talking
75.
about that one time. that
So
fool-
how old is he?
At that time,
He's like your age now.
He was probably 40 at the
50,
time. He was
pushing
he was
50.
50?
He's-
But
Probably
at the time he was
48.
like
he was
at the-
born in 62 or 66. One of those years.
But how old is he at the time when he
I
was
have
kissing
no
the
idea.
75?
Probably 40.
Oh, yeah.
40
Dude,
something.
there was this one time he made out with his
Doesn't
chola, bro.
matter.
She must have been straight out of prison or something, dude. She was wearing like almost like chants, bro, like cholo shorts and long socks, and almost like a Pendleton, bro.
Wait, but you said that was like disgusting too, though. Like with him
it's
kissing.
fucking
So I'm
sickening.
wondering now, like when I was kissing this like 24-year-old, if like her friends were thinking like that's disgusting, like you were kissing that dude, like that, he's too
20,
old.
you're
That's
like 25 years
disgusting.
off, dude. But he got into it, dude. But that's back when he used
He
to
got
get,
into
when
it.
he used to get those tequila shots. He'll tell everybody it's Patron, but it was just Cuervo. And then like somebody will take the shot and go, "This ain't Patron, bro." But he was gone, dog.
That's how Anthony Mason was. He used to play for the Knicks.
I love
Ah,
Anthony Mason.
he
He was my
knew-
favorite player.
He
man,
knew,
dog.
like he knew if it wasn't Patron, like because he only drank Patron, the gold.
Yeah, you can tell, dude.
No,
That thing
he knew.
goes
like,
down,
Oh,
dude.
he'd be.
Cuervo, right when you bring it right, you'll smell it
Ugh.
by that time.
That's the
I
only
know.
thing he would drink. He would make you drink, and if you didn't drink, he'd like punch you in the chest. I said, dude, you're like 6'9", 300 pounds.
Sound like the owner of El Tepeyac, bro. Manny, right?
I'll take two. Yeah, the big Manny, the
Anthony
burrito.
Mason was the first basketball player I remember who had those huge deltoids. You know, that just giant.
like deltoids, huh?
No, I'm just saying. I wasn't
Fuck that
attracted to
guy.
him.
Nah.
I wasn't attracted to him. He was
just
an
kidding.
amazing player, but
How many laps I gotta do that? Get those fucking shoulders.
You gotta go buy those, bro. That's like a
Sorry.
band, huh? The deltoids.
right? Yeah. What?
you got
Was it?
three
Was
delts?
it? It wasn't.
The delphonics, right?
Yes, I knew it was Del something.
Yeah.
I think that sounds familiar.
That's a
There's
good
something.
one.
The
The
deltoids.
deltoids. The deltoids.
That'd be cool.
That'd
little,
be a
like,
good
lounge
name.
band or something, a little crooner group.
That'd be a good name.
I'm
dude.
swimming
That's what I thought there
on
really
the
was.
star.
Dude, the deltoids, dude.
deltoids.
The
There's
deltoid.
3 heads of your deltoid. You got 3 parts of
Hilarious.
it: front,
Is there?
side, back.
I don't even know what a deltoid was.
What's up,
Yeah,
fool?
deltoids this way. This way also.
Shout out to Lisa, the Snow Queen, people. What's up, fool? Ray Lepowski, get at him.
Yeah, man.
Go say what's up with him. After you were D-Ray, then where you at after that?
Just with him. I've just been on the road with him, so I've left the dates, just so I'm readily accessible to do those dates.
Hell yeah.
It's
That's
more,
easy. A lot of no pressure.
Well, yeah,
Nothing. Yeah, you don't have to.
it makes it to whereas again, like if I have my own gigs though, and then I don't want to be to where I'm not available,
Yeah.
and then he'll be like, oh well, he can't do it, get somebody else, and
then
then
you forget about you.
yeah,
for
then
the
I'm
rest
not in the
of-
rotation no
yeah.
more. So
I
no,
was wishing.
all
what happens,
all
bro.
my gigs are like I have none.
That's
If
what. That's what happened with
Hey, bro.
Ari Shafir and that dude that we met at the All Things Comedy
Festival.
Festival. What's that? He was a big, tall dude, kind of.
Stanhope? Oh.
No, we
We were talking with him.
Oh, Justin. I mean, you're talking about
he's a
Justin. I mean,
ghostwriter
Thoreau.
for that
I mean,
movie.
not Thoreau.
He's from Detroit, I think.
He's
Mike
the ghost,
Young.
Mike
Oh,
Young.
Mike Young,
So
yeah.
he canceled on Rogan, and then he took Ari Shafir, and then they spawned their relationship.
Yeah, I saw Joe in the airport one time, and I'm not a groupie of any kind, but I
You look like you'd be his brother, dude.
yeah, but you see
brother.
Rogan.
You're Joe Rogan, bro.
But you see Joe Rogan in the airport, so I was like, hey, and he's trying to be inconspicuous and all that stuff.
He
and
can't,
so-
bro.
Well, I'm just,
Just walking with kettlebells.
well, I'm just.
His bags
but
are kettlebells.
so I said to try to like,
But he's cool though.
yeah, I know. I didn't do the whole like, oh, I'm a comedian too. I don't do
Right,
none of that
right,
stuff.
right.
So I was just, we got a mutual friend. He's like, oh, do we? He's like,
Felipe.
who's that? No, I didn't know you knew him like that.
Who
So
is that?
I said
Who's that
Ari.
guy?
And so then that's what made him
yeah,
stop.
alright.
Because he's trying to get away from me. So when I
Right.
said Ari, he kind of like stopped. He's like,
Calm down a little
I
bit.
said, well, yeah. So I used to work with Ari a lot in Chicago. I said, back in the Riddle Comedy Club days, I said, me and Ari used to work together a lot, and as well as Joey Diaz. So then when I just
That's
brought
right.
it, then he
the
like
back
now he
cock
just
He realized you weren't a stalker. Crazy.
yeah, and the fact that I think that he respected that I didn't have to tell him I was a comic.
Yeah.
I just by the fact that I said we got a mutual friend, then I said we used to work together a lot in Chicago. Then obviously he puts 2 and 2 together. Oh, he's a comic too, and he was cool. I mean, it was quick, but he was cool. Like, who else did I meet in airport?
You tried Shroom Tech?
No, what's his name from Jackass? Johnny Knoxville.
Uh-huh.
He didn't want to. You couldn't even try to speak to him.
No, he didn't want
Johnny
to.
No, he didn't
Knoxville,
want to
is
talk whatsoever.
Trying to
You
be
should
too
just-
cool for school
you
all
should
the
just
time.
You don't
No.
like him, huh?
I don't
You
like
should
him. I
have
never
broke a
liked
chair
him.
on yourself in front of him, bro. Can I be in the show?
No, yeah, he didn't want to talk.
I
No?
saw
yeah.
him years ago
Damn,
in
dude.
front. We were waiting for Roscoe's. We were at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles when I was a tourist here with my like the third time,
You
fourth
said,
time.
look at those deltoids.
No, he's a peanut. He has no
he don't
deltoids.
show it up.
No, he's
No,
he's
just
tall. He's skinny
tiny.
dude.
He's
He's skinny
tiny.
dude.
But he
Like he don't eat.
But he was trying so hard to get noticed, and I was not giving him the time of day. And my friend she was ignoring him too. Or we're all waiting outside in front of Roscoe's, like
Before
different pockets.
Jackass?
That's when I met the
Booyah Tribe.
Booyah Tribe. And we took a picture with them and all that stuff. I was like, fuck that guy over there. I know he wants everybody to come over to him, but I'm more interested in these guys than that
That was
guy.
before Jackass?
No, this is after Jackass.
okay.
And he had his pants all high,
Yeah,
trying to
see,
look all hipster.
But now
like
that's
he was
weird
cool.
though, because when I saw him and he was with his wife, I'm assuming his wife and his kids, nobody was even speaking to him though. Like he wasn't like he was looking for attention, but at the same time, there was nobody going up to Johnny Knoxville like, and I was like, he just came off that movie. I forget what movie it was.
Walking Tall.
Ringer, the Ringer, or something like that.
One of those. He just came off of a movie, so it wasn't like he's not relevant. I mean, he's not Jackass relevant no more. But I mean, still, it's Johnny Knoxville. It's a body of work. It's not what you just did yesterday. But nobody was saying nothing to him. I was shocked. So I was thinking like you should be wanting to speak to me. He didn't want me to say
Thought
shit
he was
to him.
cool, dog.
Lisa tried to poison Ethan Hawke at a restaurant.
I did try to
I'm just
poison him.
kidding.
He was a jerk to me. But Gwyneth Paltrow was very sweet.
That's why I love her.
She got nice deltoids.
Wait, not Gwyneth Paltrow. What's her face?
Sorry,
Uma
Thurman. Never mind.
Wrong white blonde girl.
You know who
Yeah.
I
Uma Thurman, right?
Uma Thurman. No, she was super
Pulp
sweet.
Fiction. Kill Bill.
Fiction, yeah, everything. Kill Bill.
Okay.
But they were still together at the time.
You know the one.
long
You know
hands.
who I don't like is that Charlize Theron or whatever. her name is.
Monster?
Charlize.
I don't like her. Yeah, I don't like her. Just because of the way she was to
She's
that.
from Skokie.
Is she from Skokie?
Nah.
No, she's from South Africa.
But you know that what's
South African.
those two twins that had the TV show back in the day?
Olsen twins.
The Maori sisters or
Oh
whatnot.
yeah,
Tia-
Tawana, Tia and Tamara.
Yeah, Tia and Tamara. Tamara they work out at the same gym, like the same Equinox or whatnot, whatever it was, and whichever one it was, she wasn't even bothered, none of that type of stuff. She was just like, like saying like, I appreciate you guys, love your work. Like basically all she was saying.
The twin said that too.
Yeah, one of the twins said
Charlize.
it to Charlize.
Yeah.
Put that plug back in.
And she had the manager come and said if she's ever in here, I'll never come here again. I'll never work out here again. I was like, who
You're
are you?
lying.
No,
serious?
dead
To
serious.
you?
No, to
She
the
said that
Maori
to
kid.
the manager.
Wow.
You keep hitting that plug.
You are killing
Yeah,
me.
but she went off like this. She was bothering me and
Wow.
she was like, no, all I did was like say, hey, I love what you do. Like that's it. Like
Okay,
real
I don't
brief
like
and
her
quick and
anymore either. Wow.
Yeah.
Super quick and simple to the point. Like, hey, love what you guys do, and I'm out. Like, say I meet them. I'm at their show, and after the show, I see them as they're getting ready to leave, and hey, great show, love you guys, man, and I'm out the door.
Damn.
And that's like all she did. And the Theron lady was like, no, like if she ever
Theron lady.
if she ever comes here again, or if you guys allow her still to retain her membership or whatnot, I will quit. Like I won't have mine.
You get
I
a
am
home
shocked
gym or
at
what?
that. That is
Damn.
what
Yeah.
a bitch.
So that's why my point is like some of these people like who the fuck do you think you are?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly,
see,
man.
Ethan
Well,
Hawke. Oh, go ahead. No,
Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna finish the Ethan story because he comes in. He came.
Ethan.
Uma was there with her like niece or something. They had dinner. This was Bobby Flay's restaurant, Mesa Grill in New York City. When Bobby was hot, it had Grillin' and Chillin' show and all those Food Network shows. So it's a nicer
I heard
restaurant.
you do the mean robot.
He did the Running Man.
Oh, fuck that.
Not
shit.
the robot, but anyway, he's a dork. He's a
Cabbage Patch,
dork. But so anyway, they're having dinner. They had dinner. They were so nice, and the niece is like, "Oh, Ethan's coming." It's like she was all excited, and I said, "Oh, okay, whatever." He shows up after the kitchen closes. Kitchen's closed. The chefs. These are chefs. They're not line cooks or anything. They're chefs. They're gone. He comes in and he wants something to eat, and I said, "Sorry, the kitchen's been closed for like half an hour." Well, Lisa, because they had an open kitchen, like you could see, they had a big picture window, because that's the attraction there. You can watch everybody cook in there. He goes, well, maybe you can go down there, whip me up some nachos or something. First of all, we don't sell fucking nachos.
Nachos.
But he goes, to me, maybe you could go whip me up some nachos.
What?
And I said, well,
Not only do you serve, you're also a cook.
And anyway, he was just really insistent that I go make him something.
Make his
And
wish
I
come
said,
true.
I can't. And I said, you know what? There's a coffee shop bar where all the models work right around the corner there in Union Square. You can go over there. It's open 24 hours. And Uma was like, yeah, you know what? We can just, there's lots of places we can go. It's fine. Let's just go. She was trying to urge him to get out. He was a dick. He was like, come on, Lisa, I know you could do something. Whip me up something. Just an asshole.
magic.
Just
What's
like
up, Fidel?
thinks he's somebody, you know? Asshole.
Fuck
Anyway,
that.
that's it.
What's up, fool? Rodrigo scared the Olsen twins one time. We were packing a bowl.
Where?
Outside Thrifties or the fucking CBS on Sunset and La Brea, bro.
They
No,
look
Sunset
weird, man.
over there by the Dodger Stadium.
Where? Who?
The
By
Olsen
the comedy
Oh,
store.
Olsen
They're skinny and just
They're
heads.
little, yeah.
Yeah, they had an
Like
SUV, and
aliens.
Rodrigo started walking to the SUV, and
They rolled up
all
the
the
window.
4 windows went down at the same went up at the same time.
They weren't even.
We're gonna invite her to pack a bowl, man.
Yeah.
They were
like-
21 years old.
let's
What's
go.
up, fool? Thank you very much to Ray Lapowski. Check him out with D. Ray Davis and all his shows. Lisa over here, Rodrigo Torres. Check him out and be with those jokes.
September 11th.
Yeah, man.
Oh.